Hey guys, so I wanted to make a quick recap of tonight's hoop class. That was Thursday, 8/18. Tonight we started out class just working a little bit on chest hooping and shoulder hooping. You know, everybody wanted to work on it, so we brought the hoop up here. Now for shoulder hooping, we worked on bringing the arms on the inside and really pushing forward, to the left, back, and to the right. So if you're, used to yoga or anything like that, pushing forward and rounding out back is like cat and cow. And then if you just stand here and you work on pushing, side to side, just your chest, you want to push it out to the side, out to the other side. And then we worked on shoulder hooping. It does help to turn in the same direction while you're learning it. And you really want to push with both those arms and bring the chest around. And then we worked on chest hooping, and we worked on bringing it up here and really just pushing and making that rounding motion. We also talked about, once you're comfortable with that, how you can bring the arms in and out, like here. After that, we worked on wedgies. So we talked about a couple different ways you can get into the wedgie. What we started with was just bringing the hoop in front of us and off to the right. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see. I took the hoop and I'm bringing it to the right side of my body here. And I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to step through the hula hoop and down. So if I'm facing you, the hoop's in front of me, I'm stepping in front of the hoop into that gap there and straight down. Let me see if I can back up so you can see better. So if I'm here, you're bringing that foot around in front of the hoop, down and inside the hoop, so that your leg's inside the hoop and it's twisted in there. And then with this foot, we push down with this foot and we let the hoop swing and we twist our hips to the left there. And it hits your back. We worked on doing this a bunch of times. And then when the hoop comes down is when we grab it and take that leg out. With that move, we also discussed that you could do walk the dog, and it can come on the side of you and you can step through it, or it can come down the middle and you can step in through the middle. We also discussed that you can take it, and if it's spinning on your hand, you can bring it under the leg and step through and into it. There's another way you can go into it too. Also, if you're familiar with the body wrap, shoulder wrap, or the body wrap, you can body wrap into the wedgie. So basically that would be bringing it around, and when it comes around over here, that's where you'd step in for the wedgie. These are all different variations and transitions how you can get into it. But for tonight's class, we chose to put the hoop on our foot. So I'm going to step back again so you can see this. I'm going to put the hoop down on the ground and I'm going to put it right on my right foot. And what we did is we stepped through the hoop and went right into the wedgie. So we lifted it up, stepped through, and we brought it right into that wedgie. From here, we stepped out, and this is where we worked on that move from last week where we're taking the hoop. Your wrist is facing up. Sorry about the cicadas, I gotta yell over them. But we're gonna bring it up and over and onto our body. Flip it out. Back again, up and over. Flip it out. Back over one more time. This time we bring it over. We jump through, and we're gonna pass it to our left arm, and we're also gonna turn and face around to the front. And then we did one pass spinning, two pass spinning, jump through the hoop, and then we came out to the side here. We finished that pass, back around, we broke it on the side of our body here, and we did a one-hand flip out to the side. Then from here, this is where we had a little bit of fun with the isolation stuff. We flipped it in, and then we let it slide down, flipped it up. From here, we brought it up to the side, and we did the same thing as we did last week where we pushed the hoop out and away from us, flip to the other side. Now instead of continuing it all the way back around to the side and doing a half and a half, we're going to do a quarter and bring it to the top, flip it down to the bottom again, and bring it back up to that same side. So we're going to the side, flip, top, flip to the bottom. So we're going right, flip, left, top, flip, bottom. And we did 2 of those in a row. And then after we did 2 of those, you're ending here, we went back into it like we were going to do it again, except this time we flipped the hoop out and away from our body over here, Then we used the bottom hand to pull the hoop, and we did a ghosting isolation straight across, flipped it back in, let go with that bottom uncomfortable hand, and brought it back down to the bottom. Then we brought it back and did it the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So we brought it up here to the side, flipped it out, slid it across, and flipped it back in, and brought it back down to the bottom. Then after we ran through this a couple times, we wanted to get a little more creative with the isolation section there. So what we did is we did this whole thing, flip, 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 jump through, passed it around, yada yada, jump through, continued it around, broke it, one-handed flip, we brought it in. Now, instead of going right into the stuff we did before from here, we took the hoop and we went boom, pushed it around to the back. Now it's behind us here. We do that, it's basically like an isolation, but the hoop's isolating around your body. We went over this in a previous class, so if you want, send me a message, I'll break this down further. But your hands are up here at like 10 and 2. We're going to isolate around, push out to the side, back in front. Then from here, we took the hoop and we flipped it back around again to the back. And then from here, we flipped it over to the front. Then we slid it down and brought it back up. But we just, we discussed all the different things you can do, just with these motions here, whether it be flipping the hoop around your body this way, over your body, bringing it around the body, or even turning with the hoop staying where it is. So you could take, this whole routine here, and when you get to this part where the hoop's out to the side here, you can take this any way you want. You can flip it to the back, flip it forward, bring it down and go into it. There's so many different ways you can go into it. But anyway, whatever path you choose, you just want to end up back here so you can go into that fun isolation we did, where we're flipping the hoop quarter turn at a time. So I'm going to run through that routine one more time with you guys. So let's put the hoop down on our foot here. We're going to do the step through into the isolation, into the wedgie. We did a couple wedgies, then we let the hoop come down, we grabbed it. From here, we took it, we brought it over, 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 jump through, bring it around, once, twice, jump through, finish it, break, to the side, brought it in, bring it down, flip it up, here, flip, up, flip, over, flip, down, here, flip it out, slide it across, back, down, opposite, slide it across, flip, and down. And a couple other things we discussed is when we're doing that ghosting across, you don't have to hold it with the bottom arm necessarily. So when you bring it out here, if you're more comfortable letting go with the one arm, so let's say you're more comfortable holding on with the top arm, you can keep that top arm as your strong arm and use the bottom arm to slide. It's whichever way, you're more comfortable with, whatever arm's stronger. So if you like that top arm better, go with that one. Also, when we discussed the wedgies, we discussed other things you can do with them. We talked about how, once you're doing the wedgie and you feel like you really got it and it's hitting your back strong, you can duck and let it go to the other side. And then you can continue on that other side. We also talked about how, eventually when you're doing the wedgie, you can take it and go right on body with it, where you flip it up and on body. But it really just, as far as you go with it, the more you drill it, the more you can take it and go into different directions with it. But hope you guys had an awesome time in class tonight. Any questions, just message me or comment below. Good night.